for your Caesar. Cardiff City, ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar. Cardiff City, get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. For your Caesar. Grab a little something for your Caesar. We the geezers. Swagger stone cold like freezers. She want a diff boy. She want Starvz, not Fitzroy. She want a diff boy. She want Starvz, not Fitzroy. She want a big man. Says she want a man from...
Yes guys, I'm Si. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Cardiff City World. And please make sure you're subscribed, all that good stuff. Because we still have a high percentage of people who watch but aren't subscribed. So let's do it. Let's get into it. Cardiff City 1, Luton Town 0. Let's find 5 takeaways from it. And this was Brian Barry Murphy's biggest test yet. Biggest test yet. And it was, I thought they responded massively well. First half particularly sensational. Second half dug in. Bit of both sides. Glorious football. But I also thought Cardiff had a much bigger cutting edge yesterday. We created clear-cut chances. Joel Colwill should have scored. Ruben Colwill should have scored. There was a couple in the first half where we maybe should do better. So that's good. They're pulling the trigger a little bit more. And that'll come. It'll come with chemistry. It'll come with everything else. But let's get into it. Number 1. Cardiff City look real good. Especially in the first half. First up, City looked absolutely slick. First half was top draw. The rotations, the quick interchanging, the quick 1-2 touch passing, the movement off the ball is glorious. Like, genuinely, Luton did not have an answer to it. And in fact, their answer to it was just a big, long, straight ball down the middle. And it did cause us a couple of problems in the first half. Second half, we dealt with it with ease. But not with ease, but we're comfortable. But apart from those big, long, straight balls in the first half, Luton had nothing. They really struggled. Cardiff just kept winning the ball back high up. And Brian Barry Murphy's team were in the ascendancy from the start. And then Luton, with those long, straight balls, they got back into it. And they probably had the more clear-cut chances in that first half, particularly one. Nathan Trott obviously was on fire. But in terms of the play, I thought Willock, I thought, Robinson is looking a bit low on confidence in front of goal, but his link-up play was great. His awareness, his movement, his work rate. I'm all about that. If you're not in form, fine, but work, and he did that. Ruben, he's, in my opinion, been our best player in every single game, certainly our best outfield player. And again, it was just so difficult to deal with, but it's still the way he wins the ball back. His body is so big and he's so awkward. He just gets a leg around, he pinches the ball. But it wasn't just Ruben, it wasn't, it was a team effort. Keane Ashford had a great game as well. But that first half, I was watching that and I was just thinking, Jesus, when we can get a cutting edge, and that might be we need a pacey winger to get in behind. It might be that we need to switch out a striker or someone. But when we get that cutting edge to go with the build-up play and the set-up play, God, we look good. We look real good. And I'm watching it. I said this the other week. I was watching it, and it just reminded me of when Newcastle came down to the Championship, that dominant. Every single game, 60-plus possession, 60% plus possession. That is insane numbers. And when you look at it in a bit more of a deep dive, SofaScore shows Cardiff dominated the attack early, momentum early, and then Luton were pinned back. Just classic, high quality pressing, really good counter pressing, and we just suffocated them from the kickoff. The first half, our pressing was elite, high line, quick turnovers, central overloads, creating those half spaces and getting in behind down the wide areas. Luton simply couldn't cope. They resorted to big, long, straight balls, which we struggled with initially, but as the game went on, we dealt with them a bit better. But why does it matter? Well, if Cardiff keep playing like this, they're only going to get, these players are only going to get better the more they play the Brian Barry Murphy way. So they can keep on, if they can keep the rotations, they can keep the work rate while adding some depth. They are going to cook come the pressure time at the end of the season, but we must add depth. Another injury to David Turnbull means that we are almost down to the bare bones already, and we're only 4 or 5 games in, so we've got to get some players in. I understand he wants a certain level of quality, but those players are out there. You can't say they're not. They are. They simply are. Number 2, Dylan Lawler and Will Fish's partnership looks the real deal. A proper pairing. A good mix. One's physical, one's exquisite on the ball. They just look like they've got a real understanding. I'm glad to see them get a couple of games in a row together. I think Will Fish looks so much more happy and comfortable next to Dylan Lawler. And look, boy oh boy, did they deliver. Lawler was his usual exquisite self on the ball. Really clever reading of the game, really clever positioning. And physically, I thought he really stood up for it as well. I thought he did well, considering that was a criticism aimed at him in the Peterborough game. Since then, I think he's done really, really well on the physical side. And when he went off after about an hour, it was the right time. Give him a rest and let Chambers get in there, who's bigger, because, you know, Luton were just going to get more and more direct. And then on the Fish side of things, the headers, the blocks, the tackles, like, unbelievable. And I think Trott will rightly take all the plaudits. But some of the tackling and the blocks and the winning of the ball from the whole team, but the defence in particular, was just sensational. Really stood up to it. You know, Fish, he wasn't able to deliver his usual quality diagonals, and I think that was more because the pitch is so narrow. He did try a couple where they kind of overhit or got cut out. It's the pitch, I think, more than anything. But their partnership is rock solid, and we need to build that now. We need to build on that. Chambers, unfortunately, is going to have to sit it out. I would play Chambers against Cheltenham on Tuesday, give him some game time, keep him sharp. But there's a few others I'd rest. I'd rest Ruben, I'd rest Wintle. Give some of the other players a go. I'd like to see Mafico get a game in the number 6 actually on Tuesday. But Cardiff's defence, they repelled what Luton had. The Luton had this sort of mid second half surge. They tested Trott, and Trott made some genuinely real good saves. The one from long range in the first half was a great save. The one low down to his right from a header, I think off McGuinness, was a phenomenal save. But Lawler and Fish stood up to it all. Trott was excellent. And then, of course, I mentioned, the Kenilworth Road pitch is narrow, so the diagonal balls weren't as effective. But that's good in a way because it made us play in a different way. And those inefficiencies, with how narrow the pitch is, you'd think, oh no, that's our main plan, is switching the ball. We still managed to switch it, but it was more like low and hard passes. But when you've got the height and the tackles and the interceptions of Fish, and you've got the reading of the game of Dylan Lawler, and they have the chemistry, keep it together and build on it. Because long may Dylan Lawler be a Cardiff City player. Will Fish, also 21, young, what a partnership. Really, they're just going to get better because they're like, both of them are under 22. Number 3, marginal games. I really wanted to get into this one. I've been looking forward to this one. And I think this is where Brian Barry Murphy is shining as a coach and as a Cardiff City manager. It's the tinkering and the improving of individual players in his system. To name a few, David Turnbull, Callum Robinson, Chris Willock, Joel Bagan, all of them are working hard to follow the manager's instructions and what he wants. And particularly when I've watched at home, when I'm in that seat by the bench, and you can see him interacting with them, and he's talking to them and he's telling them exactly what he wants. And if they don't give it to him, he's telling them to do it. Turnbull looks sharp again. He's just put in back-to-back performances. He started like a train again, and he's felt a strain. It sounds like it was a precaution. I hope so, because we're seeing the real David Turnbull, and he's a good footballer. But he'll be buzzing on his performance side, but hopefully that injury is just a precaution nonetheless. Chris Willock, since that Peterborough cameo, I've been saying it. The manager has been asking him to do more. Do more, work back to help Joe Bagan, and do more, go on the outside. Don't just always cut in. And he's been doing it, and he's getting the rewards from it. He drifted inside a few times yesterday and switched with Ruben. Not for long periods, just brief periods. Ruben went out left, he went in the middle, and that's how the goal ends up coming. Chris Willock won the ball back, beats the man, great finish. And when you look at it, like Turnbull has started like a house on fire. Joel Bagan is the one I really want to talk about. I'm really pleased for Chris Willock and Joel Bagan. Joel Bagan is one who gets criticised a lot. He's a consistent 6.5 out of 10 every week. But the last few games, he has just been excellent. Going forward and defensively. None more so like than that crunching tackle in the second half where he just goes woomph as the winger's starting to get up a bit of speed. Joel Bagan's been superb these last few games. But I think we've got to wrap him up at Cotton Wool on Tuesday because he cannot play every game. So I think, for me, I think Louis Giles has got to play. Got to play on the weekend. Or you bring Spears in. They got to give him a break, and I would like to see Mafiko in midfield, if I'm honest. Turnbull, like I said, started off like a house on fire. Hopefully a precaution. Willock, second half. I thought he really put in a performance yesterday, but I think that's been coming. You could see an extra work rate in him this season all along. So I just hope it inspires him now to kick on and really show that he's better than League One. And then you've got like Joe Bagan's defensive work, offered real control, really good on the ball, got up in the wide areas as well, particularly when Kipakio inverted into the middle a bit. Bagan was wide, which he hasn't always done, so that shows an awareness of, right, Kipakio's come inside, so I've got to be the one to go up. I love that. And those are marginal improvements. Callum Robinson will come. We know as soon as he scores one, he'll go on a run, score 5-6 games in a row. So I'm not worried about that side of it. As long as he keeps putting in the work. Could have scored from the halfway line, and what a goal. What a bit of creativity and ingenuity, awareness to just turn, bang. He knew the keeper was out and nearly executed it beautifully. But it's those marginal improvements from these players in the squad. That's what sustains form when suspensions and injuries and pressure come later in the season. When the manager is getting every little bit out of every little player. And when those players understand exactly what the manager wants. Brian Barry Murphy's setup is clicking. There'll be a time where we have a little difficult spell, I'm sure. But at the moment, we're digging out two big away results in a week. So we're not showing that we're not just a pretty footballing side. We got the balls as well. Love that. Number 4, Ruben Colwill has come of age. And look, right, Ruben Colwill, what a game again. He should have scored late, and I'm sure the people who were just desperate to have a go at him will pull that up, and he should have scored. He should have just put it in. Don't fuck about with it. I get it, but the rest of his performance was next level. Duel winning, counter pressing, driving forward to relieve the pressure, when to hold the ball to relieve the pressure, when to release it quickly, driving into space, creating space, those half spaces, and man, like. He covered ground like a man possessed. City have found a new stalwart, and I'm not sure that many predicted that our Captain Marvel would be Ruben Colwill. Well, some of us did, but like I think he's just inspired by it. Absolutely inspired by it. He was a constant threat. Set pieces, everything. He's a threat in the air as well, and defensively in the air. He won some really important headers defensively. This modern, like, attacking 8-10 hybrid, he offers physicality, he's technical, he's got the engine, late game miss aside, every game he's brought the energy and the control. That's progression. That's all we've wanted from Ruben is consistency. And not only has he found consistency, but he's gone up a level. And me, for one, I couldn't be more pleased. It's good for Cardiff, but I'm more pleased for him because the stick he took last year was way over the top, way unfair. And he's proven a point now. I love it. I'm here for it. Number 5. We all know where this is going. Nathan fucking Trott. Finally. Nathan Trott. Like, what can you say? Another clean sheet. Multiple quality saves. A commanding presence. Distribution absolutely spot on. Talking and marshalling his defence. Just, is he the best keeper since David Marshall? I'm trying to think of one who's been up there and I can't. The match report says like his composure, denied multiple Luton attempts, and he managed the closing stages superbly. I just thought he was superb again. Luton's only, like, they did have clear-cut chances, and Nathan Trott was there. So when they did cut us open, or when they did create a clear-cut shooting opportunity, Nathan Trott was unbeatable every step of the way. And the game management, we went long. Once, like last 10 minutes, we went long, and I know that might have been because he had cramp, but I'm here for it. Change your plans depending on the game. The defensive resiliency that we've shown in the last couple of games, or all season away from home, because even that Port Vale game now, you can look back with hindsight and say, yeah, that's a good result. He is the backbone of that. That's where it starts. The foundation starts with the keeper, and Cardiff City's have not conceded a goal from open play in the league this year. Long may that continue. But there you have it. That's 5 things that I picked up in this Cardiff City versus Luton game. I would love to know what you picked up. Love to know if you think there should have been other things on that list rather than what I selected. I really enjoyed the lethal pressing, the Lawler and Fish partnership, the individual marginal games on some players who've taken a lot of criticism. Ruben Colwill, etc. Like, I love it all, but Nathan Trott, man, wow. Let me know in the thoughts in the comments. What do you think? Who stood out for you? How impressed are you with Brian Barry Murphy's team? What do we need from the next couple of games to keep this momentum? What's the minimum? For me, if we can win our home games and sort of win, draw away from home, I'm happy, you know, happy. That will be one of the toughest games of the season now. Away from home at Luton, physical, narrow pitch, the crowd's on you, all of it. Like, that's a difficult place to go. Cardiff City 1, Luton Town 0. Brian Barry Murphy train continues. I will see you on Tuesday at Cheltenham. Let's fucking go. Upper City, keep the faith. Nice one.
Rascal Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City ride with me for your Caesar.